morning, traders from across the globe. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. And welcome to the 2114th edition of Short-Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Traders, once again, thank you for tuning in to video number 2114, which is being filmed on Monday night for trading Tuesday, June 9th, 2020. I've got some interesting topics on this board. As you've noticed, the NASDAQ has bulled right past that double top thus far on both the weekly and the daily charts, and that is fantastic. But before we cover everything else on the board, you must know that trading is extremely risky. You can certainly lose more money than you have in your trading account and have to write a check to your broker, even if that means you got to sell something to pay that margin. So please know, if you're on the wrong side of the market without a stop, if you're short selling options, if you're doing something dangerous, you can lose a lot more than you had planned. This is not for everybody. But there's a lot of traders out there that totally get it, put their stops in first, follow the Omni. And for you, how did we do all last week? We killed it, right? Yeah. Thursday and Friday, we tried to sell the double top in NASDAQ. The market came down. We took our profits. We didn't lose any money. We made money. But then, towards the end of the day, Friday, the NASDAQ bulls through that double top. We were no longer in the market, so no problem for us. And NASDAQ has bulled right past it so far. So green Omni on the board for trading Tuesday, E-mini S&P, NASDAQ, Russell. Right now, situation is, we know that we've bulled past thus far the double top. E-mini S&P and Russell are now joining NASDAQ above the 200 bar moving average. And I'll tell you right now, the street loves to see that. Traders, we've been talking about selling gold in almost every video for the last, 5 days. No more selling gold. I'll show you the chart. You'll see why. At least for a day or two, recommendation on selling gold is off. And the switch has been turned back on. Kids, go United States. Didn't take us long to come back out, did it? So, what's making all of this great stuff happen? The switch has been turned back on. Now, traders, you must understand, when this first started, this Corona COVID shutdown, I did a series of videos. I came out in front of this camera and I told all of you, listen, I've been doing this almost 39 years. I've lived through a lot of these big crashes, and I'll tell you what. A wheel did not fly off the economy. Nothing broke at all. What happened to us is we had to walk into the factory of the United States with all the workers and all the supplies and everybody wanting your product and turn off the switch. All right? Well, we just turned that switch back on without having to fix anything, with $9 trillion, if you will, somewhere around there, of an injection from the Fed and our government. You better believe we're going straight back up, kids. But this is what I was talking about, and I did a series of videos to tell you that. It's just a switch being turned off. When they turn it back on, we're going to go gangbusters. And that is what's happening right now. So don't fight this. This is good. It might stop and start to go down. We know how to turn bearish. For now, do not fight what you see. Trade what's on the chart. So, once again, green Omni for trading on Wednesday. NASDAQ so far is letting us get long again because it's through the double top. The street loves to see indexes above the 200 bar moving average. We're there. Stop selling gold for now. Traders, before I show you the charts, I'm just about to go there. Remember, there's an Omni camp scheduled for the end of this month. I'm only accepting 3 Omniacs to come out to my home office and train with me at Omni camp. Due to COVID, 50% rule. We're only taking 3 students in. I've only filled 1 seat because I've called a lot of applicants, and some of them don't fit the bill, and I want to be very choosy about the other 2 who come out here. You must be within driving distance of Las Vegas. Now, that could mean Alaska. I don't care where you drive from. Just don't fly in, because I'm inviting you to my home office. There are 2 seats left open. Come join me the end of this month. A 4-night, well, it's actually a 5-night, 4-day seminar here in Las Vegas. Everything is included. Your meals, your lodging, a brand new computer for you to take home with the Omni pre-programmed. All of that happens for you. I teach you. We stay together. There's after graduate school. Once you're home, you get to send me your charts, and I make sure that you've learned the Omni. All of this happens for you. 2 open seats at the end of this month. Come to livewithoscar.com. Do not delay. Fill out your OmniCamp applications now, and I'll call you and see if you qualify for a seat. With no further ado, let's go look at some charts. Omniacs, I'd like to give you a special thank you. Thank you so much for coming to OmniCamp this weekend. The world and this country experiencing COVID-19 Corona. But what we decided to do was have an OmniCamp, and of course we followed the rules. We did 50% occupancy only. We had everybody in masks, everyone that served food, masks, gloves. So we were here to make sure that you would be safe if you came to our town.
From the start, when we got here, what Oscar had set up in terms of ways to reduce any risk of each of us contracting or even bringing the virus with us. So everything's disinfected, there's cleaning going on constantly. Everything that we have come into contact with has been immaculate.
This is the first camp they've had since the virus, so masks were required, everything was clean. We would take breaks even in our classroom, the room would be clean, the house is cleaned. The lady who helps attend people in the house, she made sure she wore the mask. I felt very safe. I had no issues at all.
He took all the preparations and extra steps above and beyond and did things to make sure that everybody was comfortable and everybody was safe. Social distancing was in place, sanitizer, masks, thermal guns, make sure everybody's temperature's good. He brings you into his home, so he wants to make sure they're safe too.
And he really has thought about everyone and making sure that, one, his family doesn't get infected, but also that everyone in the camp stays safe. And I think that is certainly something so commendable, just certainly in terms of this difficult time for people. But yeah, no, I would highly recommend anyone who even has any nervousness about coming here, everything is taken care of in terms of that.
You will be safe if you come out to OmniCamp. We just proved that with all of our Corona contingencies. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm glad you were brave enough. And the next set of OmniCampers, you will be just as safe. I welcome you all to Las Vegas, and I hope to see you soon. Traders, the NASDAQ Daily Bar. Remember I showed you there's a double top coming? So at that point, these two bars didn't exist. The double top was right there. We were near it. Since then, we've gone through it on Friday. We went through it again on Monday and settled quite higher, and we're moving higher again on Monday night. So far, we're besting that double top, and that's fantastic to see. If we would have stalled for the double top, it probably would have been brutal. So far, we have not stalled for it. This is day one of a 2-day Fed meeting, so anything's possible, kids. But for now, we're looking fantastic. Now, bigger than that. Remember I pointed out the first Golden Cross? That's one. I said that's the first one. Maybe now it'll start to pull the 50-bar moving average up towards the 200 in ES and RTY, the Russell. So that's what we talked about should happen. Let's go take a look. Right now, E-mini S&P is above the 200 for a good 6 days, 8 days. We have the 50-bar now racing towards the 200 when they cross. That will be your Golden Cross when that day comes. If you look at the Russell, it is now, thank you Russell, above the 200 as well. Followed the NASDAQ, followed the S&P. That's above the 200. The street loves that. The 50 starting to move up. Eventually it'll catch up to the 200 and you'll get your cross. For trading on Tuesday, we certainly like these markets, buying the dips. And then we go out to the weekly. So I showed you the double top on NASDAQ daily. I showed you this double top all week long on the weekly. And I told you when we see a double top, we sell a double top. We stayed firm. We did exactly that. We used our integrity. We sold that double top in NASDAQ. But we were quick to get out. We had a big fat 60-point trade, but we got out. And so far on the weekly, the NASDAQ is getting back above and staying above the weekly double top. And if you ask me, that's very bullish, kids. Then you've got the weekly E-mini S&P. That is finally above the 50-bar moving average. A round of applause for that. That just happened as of Monday this week. So you're above the 50 in the weekly of the E-mini. We know the NASDAQ was the first one to stay above the 50. Remember that we called the bottom when it happened, kids. Omni helped us call the bottom in March when this happened. And so far, Omni's been dead right on the way back up. So pay attention to Omni. So E-mini S&P above the 50. Now look at the Russell. As of Monday, Russell above the 50 on the weekly. That's big. So this is fantastic if we see this continue. Now let's move to the gold. So I showed you this, right? We had this ascending wedge, and I told you when it breaks, that's a great short for gold. Well, we don't mind being short all the way till here. Now one of my Omni type averages I like to put on gold. And as you can see, it seems to do a decent job for gold. Bounced off of it, I say let's back off the selling for at least a day in gold. Maybe we start to get a pop and some buy signals. We'll see. It is day one of a 2-day Fed meeting. Gold could get wild, but no more sell signal as of Tuesday. And then the dollar index. Remember this one? Same sort of thing. I showed you that we basically had either a big bear flag or a pennant flag. And the dollar broke down, and as the dollar breaks down, it should make commodities like soybeans move higher. Well, look what it did. I only showed you 2 commodities, soybeans, and I told you it would also make copper go higher. And look what copper did. And that will continue to happen as the U.S. opens up and more construction takes place and more cars get sold and more copper gets used. And soybeans are in all sorts of things, including rubber. So as the economy picks up, if the dollar continues to just weaken a little bit, these commodities should have a nice run. All right, traders, let's finish this video and get us back to the office and go to work. Traders, that quick clip that you seen before the chart segment was to show you just how safe we've made coming out to OmniCamp. Don't you worry about Corona. I'm making it safe so you can't give it to me and my family. So don't worry about us giving it to you. That ain't going to happen. You show up here, you're like a passenger in the plane, and we're the pilot. I'm getting my ass home in the morning. I don't care about you back there. You don't worry about it because I'll be safe. So listen. That video was to show you that it will be safe. Fill out your OmniCamp applications and let me choose 2 more of you Omniacs and get you to drive out here before the end of the month. Now, traders, no matter what happens on Tuesday, guess what? Rule number 1, the market is always right. Rule number 2, if somehow you think the market is wrong tomorrow, or today I should say if you're watching this video on Tuesday, please refer to rule number 1, the market is always right, and that's the way it works. Make sure you don't let the inner trader lunatic in your brain get involved in your trading. All right, traders, that's about it. Join me at livewithoscar.com. Subscribe to these videos. In fact, do that right now. Subscribe to the videos. And this way you will be notified the moment I put out one of these. They're very timely. They're geared for trading from the moment you watch it until the close the next day. I try to put them out every evening if it calls for it the next day. So these videos, they're timely. They come out almost every night. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you all at livewithoscar.com. And remember, keep your emotions out of trading. One of the best things you can do to help keep those emotions at bay when you're in a trade, and believe me, I know that's not easy, but one of the best things you can do is place your stop first. Then, say this to yourselves every morning, every afternoon, every evening, and you know what that is. Stops are in. However, emotions are out. Thank you for tuning in, traders. No credit cards required. Join me at livewithoscar.com. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Futures trading is risky and can cause substantial financial loss. We do not claim or guarantee that you will profit from the information provided.